Hello and welcome to the latest edition of Marketing Crack, and today I'm going to be sharing some top tips for time management. Welcome back. Now the reason I'm smiling, I'm trying not to laugh because you have no idea how many takes it's taken to say top time management tips. What a faff. Anyway, time management. We can make money, we can lose money, we can improve our health, we can lose our health, but time, once it's gone, it's gone. And there are so many things we can do well in business, but if we're not managing our time correctly, we're just simply not going to be efficient. And a lot of it these days is down to this thing. No, not Darth Vader, I mean our phone. A lot of us are slaves to our phone, we're slaves to our email. So I've got 5 tips for you that might or might not be doable for you. You might not agree with some, but that's fine. But it's certainly things that have saved us a lot of time and accordingly made us more efficient to help our clients better. And the first one is not having our email on our phone. Shock horror, how can you do that? That's scandalous. But when you're sat there in your lunch break, on your phone, checking emails, when you're there sat next to your partner in the evening watching Bake Off, but you're checking your emails and you're replying to emails straight away, it ain't that healthy. Now, we've all been there at the beginning when we're setting up a business, when you're working 23 hours a day, 7 days a week. And maybe when you're setting up a business, you have to put that time in. But if you're a well-established business, some parameters have to be set. And all I have on my work phone is my Gmail. So my friends and family have my Gmail address. The people in the office have my Gmail address. So if there is an emergency that they want to send me via email, they know to send it to my Gmail address. But no clients or prospects, anything like that, have my Gmail. So if someone wants to email andy@cobreak.co.uk, it will come through to the team here. It will come through to my laptop. So when I next look at my laptop, my emails will be there. Is there anything super urgent that has to be said by email? Surely, if a client's got something super urgent that needs doing, they're going to call you up. Or maybe it's your job to instruct a client, listen, if there's an emergency, if something kicks off, call the office, or whatever method you prefer. That has just saved us so much time, and it's made my marriage a lot better as well, to be honest. Number 2, times to access your email. Maybe you can just access your email 2 or 3 times a day. This is something that Tim Ferriss shared years and years ago in the 4-Hour Work Week, which still has relevant information now, even though that book is quite old. I think he checks his email like just once a day, but maybe, what about checking your email at 10 o'clock, checking your email at 2 o'clock, otherwise it's turned off. Access your email, what do I need to do? Gets done, email off, back to work. Really hard to do. I got into the habit of doing it a few years ago and I'm back into bad habits now, but it worked really well because I guarantee you, even though you say, no, my job, I need to be accessible at all the time, I'm so important, I need my emails all the time, I can guarantee that if you are constantly being dragged away from your work by emails, you are not as efficient as you should be. And there's so many studies out there for how long it takes you to get back into the zone when you're pulled away from a task. If I'm sat there writing a blog for a client or writing a newsletter for a client, I don't want any distractions. I'll go into our second meeting room, and people know that if I'm in there, they only open the door in case of emergency. If there's a fire, if the building's burning down kind of thing, I want to focus 100% because my client is paying me for that. That's how we see it anyway. Number 3, task priority allocation. That's another thing that's hard to say. Do you have your tasks all set out, all listed out? And I mean separate from your notebook. We're mad on taking notes here, but if tasks need to be done by a certain time, they can't be lost amongst all your other notes. You need a separate system, a separate notepad, whatever it is, for any tasks that are time sensitive. And by reading Eat That Frog, which is a really good book to read, realise that we weren't prioritising our tasks. So now we have a list of tasks that need to be done, and each task has a letter next to it, A, B, C, D, and E, basically. And you don't start a B task until all the A tasks are done. You don't start a C task till all the B tasks are done, and it makes you a lot more efficient. Because when you look at stuff that needs to be done, does that need to be done today? Sometimes it does. Okay, that's an A. Well, actually, no, it can be done tomorrow. Well, let's bump that down to a C, because you can't do everything at the same time. And that's a really simple tool that works really, really well. Number 4, are you making the most of your time in the car? Why not make phone calls in the car? So if you've got calls to make and you're sat in traffic, why not speak to people. Everyone's got hands-free these days, and that's something, it took me years to realise. I'm sat in the car listening to my 80s playlist. I might as well be calling clients or listening to a podcast, learning, so that every time I get out of the car, I know a bit more than when I got into the car. So that can work really well for you. And the fifth one, to do with phone calls as well, is about maybe looking at a call answering service. If you haven't got someone in your team who is answering the phone between 9 and 5, whatever office hours you work at, it's worth considering a call answering service, because some are as cheap as chips, others are more expensive, and obviously sometimes you get what you pay for. But rather than you being there accessible every time someone calls, maybe have someone taking those calls for you. And this is important. Rather than passing a message on, they actually schedule a time for you to call that person back. So if someone calls, no, Andy's not available, how are you at 2 o'clock? Oh, I'm busy then. What about 3 o'clock? That's great. Okay, Andy will call you at 3 p.m. That goes into my diary. The person in theory should be expecting my call, because the last thing you want is to waste more time playing telephone tennis because you keep missing each other. So hopefully that's 5 top tips for you in making you a more time productive person. I'll see you soon for another edition of Marketing Cracked.